I'm Daniel, the past life regressionist, and it's time to begin.
Lift off and the clock has started.
This is Timeless Spirituality. Enjoy each of your time.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Timeless Spirituality. If you like the show, please go ahead and like and subscribe. And if you feel so inclined, you can also go ahead and leave a review. Be much appreciated. Yeah. So for this week's episode, I am really happy to have my friend Farah Siddiq on, and we are going to talk about the concept of Ascension to Embodiment. Now, what the hell does that even mean? Well, we're going to cover it a bit. What was interesting about this episode is while we may talk about things that seem unrelated, if you listen closely, we are really sticking on topic. So think about that. Ask yourself how these things have anything to do with moving from ascension to embodiment. Something else that I find interesting is I met up with Farah last week and we were talking about the episode which we had recorded back in April, and now it is July of 2022. And we pretty much agreed that we don't view the world the same way as we did back then. Now, it may have only been 3 months ago, but our outlooks have changed. And Farah even said to me, does it still apply? And my feeling with the episode is even though we may not see things exactly the same way, it's still a reflection of where we were at the time, which is perfect because, you know, this show's all about time. So it's a living, breathing time capsule. Yeah. And when I was editing the episode, I realized that I was misusing the word authenticity. And what I really meant to use in its place was transparency. So I just wanted to go ahead and point that out for you guys right now because I may have convoluted the two of them when they really are separate entities that have two completely different meanings. So when you hear me mention authenticity, I'm really talking about transparency. So with all of that said, if you would like to book a regression with me to discover who, when, and where you have been throughout time, you can reach me on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist or on my website, thepastliferegressionist.com. And now, it's time to begin. Farah, thank you so much for being here. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. First question, you ready for it?
Sure.
What is your favorite song that has to do with time and why?
Well, you have that Hans Zimmer track, Time.
Was that
so
from
beautiful.
Inception?
It's from Inception. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
like
a
one of
great
my
one.
favorite tracks. And then I listen to like house and techno, and these two DJs that I love, they did a remix of it that is like unreal. Only they could do something like do it justice and not ruin it. But yeah, that song always like hits me like in my core. Such a beautiful track. So
Cool. Thank you for sharing. So who is Farah?
still figuring that out. Uh, Farah is, I would consider myself a master alchemist, you know, trained in 3 forms of energy healing, Usui Reiki and Angelic Reiki. And also I created my own method, Cosmic Reiki, which combines the astrology and the energy medicine. And I've been teaching Reiki. I've been doing programs and sessions with people for years, workshops, and it's been a joy during the time of COVID, that all the time we were all locked down, that I was able to connect with people from all over the world and help them get in alignment with their soul's purpose, you know, through all this soul alchemy. And I also am a startup founder. We have an app called iAscend that's currently being developed, and hopefully we can test and show it to you in the next few months, which is really exciting. Something that we've been working on for years, not just on a, you know, in the physical earth plane, but there's just so much alchemy that went into to getting it to this point. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm a mother of a 13-year-old who I just enjoy watching who he's becoming every day. It's not about like how our parents conditioned us, where it was like we were imposing like our idea of what our children should be. It's almost like I just stay there as like a support and just watch him evolve into his own person. So that's who I am. And I guess I should go big three, maybe Scorpio sun, Virgo rising, Leo moon. Again, I can go on about myself, but those are probably the most important things about me.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that as well. All right, so today we're here to talk about, what was it, Ascension to Embodiment, correct?
Yes.
What you got for me?
Over the past several years, the big buzzword was Ascension. I mean, even our app is called iAscend. So, there was all this focus on spirit. There was all this focus on the ethereal, the unseen world. Now, what's happening is that if we see what happened in consciousness, where we went into this lockdown the past couple of years, where it was this like deep ascension process of us doing deep spiritual work, deep inner work. And now we're almost coming out of our chrysalis in a way. Like things are opening up. People are gathering again. People are now doing things more in alignment with their spirit because they're operating more from a space of self-care, wholeness. And it's almost like we were these monks, stuck in the temple. And now it's like the monk is leaving the temple and integrating back into the world. And this is a process. And this is the process of embodiment and incarnation. It's okay. Now you are here. Now you have the clarity of like what your life purpose is. And now it's walk the walk.
My understanding of Ascension, which I don't really have much of an understanding of it because, well, how could anyone? But I guess the general consensus of it is that it's about taking you away from this place. So it almost sounds oxymoronic to me to say Ascension to Embodiment, which I'm totally on board for. But there is an oxymoronic nature to that. So what comes up for you when I bring that up?
Well, again, Ascension, it's like when people think of Ascension, it is that idea of the 5D. Mm-hmm. It's the fifth dimension. And the issue with Ascension and the talk of Ascension is that a lot of people get tied to the spiritual ego, which is, hey, I'm ascended, I'm enlightened, and I can't be a part of this 3D mess. Okay. And that's not the point of Ascension. The point of Ascension is that you take the 5D spirit and the lessons and you bring it to Earth. You embody it so that you can create this, you can help transform this current reality.
So I'm going to bust your chops a little bit right now, but it's not actually busting your chops, but I'm going to have some fun with this right now. I'm going to embody that.
Okay.
Aren't we supposed to go to a new Earth when we ascend?
But there isn't like a new Earth, like on the side of this Earth.
Really? Because from what I've heard, it's when we ascend, when we inhabit our light bodies, when we switch to an all vegan diet and that we drop the density of meat products, we're going to ascend to a new Earth, quite literally a new Earth. That's my understanding. But this isn't what I actually believe. I'm just doing a bit right now.
You're gonna float to another Earth?
Yeah, the new Earth.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it in that voice. That sounds better. So the new Earth, the one where there's fields of gold everywhere you look around.
And you're running in slow motion? Exactly,
you're running in slow motion. When you look outside in the morning, you see all the animals holding hands and singing Kumbaya in the circle of life.
That could very much happen here in maybe future generations, but this is the time of the shift. This is where we shift into that trajectory of New Earth. But it's not like Elon Musk. We're not going to like jump on a rocket ship and we're going to go to New Earth. New Earth happens through us here.
Well, if I've already ascended though, why do I want to come back to the 3D world?
where are you? When you talk about when you've ascended, where are you?
If I've already inhabited this 5D consciousness and taken a trip around the galaxy 17,000 times, why do I want to come back and embody the 3D world? Why do I want to engage in all of that?
That's the gift of being alive, is to be in presence. That's why we're here.
What's the gift though? It hurts.
Loving awareness, loving presence. That's what the gift is.
But it hurts. Why do I want to be here?
What? Okay. Well, what hurts?
The emotions. These things that happened when I was a kid that I don't want to talk about. That's why I went to the new earth.
Trauma does make our soul fragments leave our body. And the whole point of the spiritual work is that we were doing soul retrievals, all these mini soul retrievals. And you're talking about not just in your own life, but you're talking about the soul retrieval of the ancestors within yourself. What you're talking about is the pain of existence. And that is what we're healing. Right now, there's so much suffering in this world. And I mean, just my own homeland, it's immeasurable. And when I look at that, there was a part of me that was so like hurt and traumatized that I identified with that suffering at that level. But because I've done so much of the inner work and I've done a lot of healing, the way that I see it now is that I can look at it as the observer and I can find solutions and I can operate at my vibration of compassion. I can find solutions. I can help in my way. And me an Afghan, operating at my highest vibration is part of that service.
First off, thank you for indulging the bit that I was doing there. You were good sport. So thank you very much. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on over there and how it affects you. But more so what I'm curious about is, how do you deal with the anger?
Like a true alchemist, I'll turn it into healing. I turn it into love. I turn it into creation. Destruction and creation are they're one coin, two sides. Shiva, Kali, the dance of destruction and creation. And the anger, it's numbing sometimes. And you don't want to get to that point where you're getting desensitized, but sometimes it's so much and you're human and you can only comprehend so much and see so much. And we're in the era of social media where it's in your face. And the amount of suffering and re-traumatization just today, they're giving 24 hours to Afghan refugees in, I think, Germany to leave because they want to make room for Ukrainian refugees. So they're kicking out Afghan refugees. I'm like, it's the humanity. And, also on the borders of Iran and Pakistan, they're abusing refugees. They're raping, killing them, selling children, and the world is watching. And this is humanity. And so how I deal with that is the way I alchemize that anger is I throw it into my work. I throw it into iAscend. I throw it into the work I do with Afghans one-on-one, helping them raise their vibration. And because I tell them, I say, what we're seeing is the manifestation of our subconscious as Afghans. This is the reality. And so what we have to do is, while all this devastation is happening, we have to do that Shiva. The devastation and the death is happening. Then we got to go into the creation and the elevation of our vibration, of our consciousness, accelerate the healing within the Afghans that can do it, because that is what's going to create a shift, is the vibration. And getting us to that space where we organize mindfully and consciously and can really tackle what's happening, and not feel helpless, which is what Afghans always felt, is that our biggest wound was the right to not exist. You can't rob Afghan joy, is what it is. You can't rob the Afghan heart. And that is what my people are fighting for. They're fighting for their sanity at this moment. It's hard when I talk about Afghanistan alone, because I know that there's other places that are also going through devastation. And we're living in a world where it's allowed. And that's not the world I want to live in. And I control what I can in regards to what's happening over there. I will support the charities. I will raise awareness. So again, I'm thinking about like, what is the alchemy in these moments? What is needed in this moment presently that needs action? And that's how you change things, is with presence, and not to think. Afghans have dealt with this for generations, literally generations, since before I was born.
Mm-hmm.
We've had genocide in our history, in our world history, for so long. And when are we going to learn?
Do you think we have the capacity to learn?
It has to do with how do we meet our suffering, our own individual suffering, because the people that are perpetuating this are suffering the most. When you look at like someone like Vladimir Putin, that's someone who's greatly suffering inside.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we have to look at, like, we have all these maniacs running the world that are these hurt, damaged children that haven't looked deep within their suffering, and their egos are out of control, and they project their suffering onto the masses. It's textbook. So that's why, shadow work and doing this deep inner work, each individual, is so important, because the vibration of one individual I feel like that's being ascended, is when you can be conscious and you can do the deep inner work, and you can see the humanity in yourself. You can see the compassion within yourself, that you can see it for every human being, because you've met yourself that deeply. It's that Matt Kahn quote, people can only meet you as much as they've met themselves.
Mm-hmm. When I look at these situations, I feel as if I'll give you a good example. I first got my Instagram in, what was it? April of 2020. I didn't first post until mid-May of 2020. And at the time I took a social media class. And as soon as the Black Lives Matter protests happened, we were informed that if you don't post a black square or you don't acknowledge this, then you are agreeing with it. And I begrudgingly posted, not because I don't support that. I'm firmly against oppression in any way, shape, or form. But what I was opposed to was being obligated to do it in the way that everyone else thought was fit. Whereas the way that I view it is, I think, very similar to you. Except you're very outspoken and very, very present with the issue, which I think is very needed. Without someone like you out there posting about it, I know that it's going on, because it's been going on for 45 years at this point, but I don't really know. But I guess where I'm going with this is, it's that ripple effect. It's that feeling of, it's the system that is the issue. This system at play here. And we have people who only act from a place of reaction. Their emotions cloud their judgment, and in turn, they get triggered in whatever way, shape, and form by politicians who are speaking the right buzzwords, and then it clouds people's judgment to not see really what's going on. So how do I want to contribute? It's on that level of helping people see clearly. Look, even for Black Lives Matter, I had my own little take on it, which was the past life angle.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember exactly the way I phrased it, but it was something to the extent of, treat others the way you would want to be treated. Keyword, the way you would want to be treated. Because if you haven't lived in their shoes at this point, or in this life, or another previous life, then odds are you'll probably have to lace up in those circumstances in a future incarnation. So treat everyone the way you would want to be treated.
Yeah.
Now, I found my own unique way of doing that, which is good. But it's at the micro level. That's how I feel I can have an impact on world events, is on the micro level. And it's just about bringing that, I no longer feel so burdened by my shadows.
Well, in this new age, this age of Aquarius, the micro is the macro,
Well, that's good.
right? When you were speaking, I was karma came up in my mind, and about past life work and karma.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, it was like, now we're in the zone. And the whole thing with karma is it's the consequence of our actions. And that's why past life work is so important, because we can go back and we can see what is the origins of this pattern? What is the charge, the energetic charge of this pattern that I can't seem to stop in this life, that it keeps repeating itself. And then it's like, we talk about karma and we talk about dharma, and dharma is the wisdom that we attain from all of the karmic lessons, is that we act consciously in dharma. And we all have, with the South Node and the North Node in Taurus, South Node in Scorpio, we're dumping a lot of the past. We're dumping a lot of karmic stuff with South Node right now. And then the North Node, it's like going in Taurus. You're a Taurus, I'm a Scorpio. Taurus is embodiment to me. It's about being here in the material world. And so how are we embodying Dharma? How are we acting consciously? How are we understanding that we need to act with presence consciously, that when something happens, we have a choice, that we understand the power of our choices? That's what karma teaches us as a collective. What is looking at the power of our choices and how it changes the complete trajectory of our destiny. Like how powerful one decision can change your whole life. And that's what karma does. And that's what, the past life work is. The past life work helps you go back and see like, hey, you did this in a past life, or your ancestors had this pattern. You're here to alchemize it. You are here to transform it so that it breaks, that it ends, because that is how karma transforms, is through alchemy. The pattern repeats itself until you learn, until you get to that more of that dharma space of like conscious wisdom, like, oh, hey, light bulb, I recognize this. This is not going to end well. So that's where we're moving to. We're moving from the karma of the consequences of our actions and the patterns that are created from that, to dharma, which is acting consciously, making choices consciously, embodying wisdom that has been attained from all the karmic lessons.
I wish that I could add something, but I can't. I would just be talking to hear the sound of my own voice at that point.
Now, I'm sure you have something to add to that. And it's timely. We got our eclipse on Saturday too. So
yeah, it's hitting for me. It's hitting my moon. Yeah.
Is it exact or?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Woo! I'll send you a text on Saturday. I'll be like, did you disintegrate? Or
did I alchemize?
Yeah. Did you alchemize?
Well, I just had Uranus come and blow through there over the last year or so.
It hit your sun and your moon?
Hasn't hit my sun yet. It's getting close. It hits my sun in June.
Well, I've been Uranus opposition the past year, so.
For your sun or moon? Or just
my stellium. I have my sun, Jupiter, Mercury, and Venus all conjunct.
So for everyone listening right now, if you don't understand astrology, that means she encountered some shit.
So
shit to alchemize.
Yeah, and South Node is now gonna hit all of it.
So she's gonna be dumping some shit that was alchemized.
I'm big dumpster fire of everything, surrender mode, clearing, like, and I'm excited. I'm actually excited about it.
You're sick, you know that?
Yeah, I am.
I mean, I think it's cool. I admire it, but that's very Scorpio of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Very evolved Scorpio of you.
Yeah, we have some evolved Scorpios. They're around.
Scorpio gets a bad rap,
Yeah. You know what I've noticed? The Geminis really get it.
but the bad rap?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones who aren't evolved.
Yeah. Well, that's in every sign there's the evolution, the unevolved and the evolved.
Yeah, I'm still working on that path towards becoming slightly evolved as a Taurus, so I'm still reveling in those.
So you're Pluto in Scorpio?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're lucky you're part of Pluto and Scorpio generation. That's powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good times. I'm cool with it. I mean, it gives me a lot to work with. A lot to transmute in this light to stir up from the depths.
Your work is so important. Your work is so important. And, as somebody that has experienced sessions with you and, I tell my friends, anytime someone says past life regression, oh my God, you got to go call Daniel. You got to go call Daniel. Because and also like you're such a generous person. You were always there, like when I needed to do it. And, you hold space in such a safe way for people to really go under and to really go deep and to really unlock things that people can't do on their own. And this kind of goes back to something that was coming up when we were talking about this podcast was, discernment. And this in astrology right now, we have the Jupiter in Pisces. So this has to do with mass awakening and seeing who's really like, who are the real, I want to say healers and the people that really own their craft, the masters. The masters are really showing, the walk, as I was talking about. And I don't know if you noticed, Jupiter and Pisces, there's a lot of overnight healers. And I think people like us who have been in this for years recognize that. And people who are trying to capitalize on the fact that people are mass awakening. And credibility is so important, establishing that and understanding that, your work is so sacred. And I feel that that's something that I see a lot of people dealing with, is that they're having trouble discerning like who to work with and who can really give them the results and hold the space in the way that they need to. So that's definitely something that I've been seeing, and I'm not sure if you've been seeing it.
I mean, thank you so much for everything you said right now. It melts my heart a little bit. I appreciate
a little bit,
a lot. And yes, I see it out there. I see it, and it's very upsetting. But I mean, this is where it's about owning it right now. I think it's upsetting because there are parts of myself that I see in it. And what I'm actively working on right now is, look, I'm damn good at what I do. I'm just going to say it. However, I still have a lot of growing to do. I still have a lot of improvement, a lot more to still learn. I'm still a baby in my craft. I've got the baby stuff down for the craft. But I'm at this place right now where it's a matter of softening my edges, because I think that I got sucked in to a lot of, I don't want to say the overnight stuff, but the messages that were being put out, even though I felt that, naively, that I was immune to it. But the one that I think I got sucked into is you attract the clients who are meant to work with you. And I think where my ego got in the way was thinking, well, why am I the right one? What is it that I have that these other practitioners don't have? And I feel that it was the ability to penetrate very quickly. But I'm softening my edges now a bit because, one, I see that I was working way too hard. Was I able to do it? Yes. Was I able to do it in a safe way? Yes. But why? Why did I have to put that much out there when the other person may not have come in entirely ready for it? So that's where I have to look in the mirror and think, did I do more damage than good in any I mean, I think overall I did well, and I still think I did, but I think I'd be an idiot to not evaluate that and see where can I improve from that? Because maybe I didn't. Maybe I did everything right, but there's still room for improvement. And that's what's really important, at least with embodiment, is to go out there with the confidence to say, yeah, I'm good at what I do, but I'm not the best. I'm still learning, and it's okay to even go on my own podcast and air my own shit out there where it's okay. And if that's an issue, then fine. Then don't work with me. Go work with someone who's going to present themselves as this mythical figure who can do no wrong. Yeah, go work with them. Have fun with that. But why have my head in the clouds? I think, yeah, it's, with the whole thing with talking about ascension to embodiment, what if the lessons in those circumstances with the whole you attract the clients you're supposed to work with, it's not about what I was uniquely qualified for, so what the situation could teach me. It goes both ways, because I learn a lot from my clients as well.
Oh yeah, it's a co-creation.
Mm-hmm.
It's collaborative. It's not. I think that's what we learned the past 2 years, is that it's not this person is on a pedestal and everything like that. It's everybody is a mirror to each other, and
mm-hmm.
that's what is breaking through the illusion of separateness. Is that everybody is an aspect of each other. And when we can see ourselves clearly, we can see the other clearly, and the alchemy is faster. And this thing that you were talking about is very relatable, about kind of over giving and overdoing the work in your sessions. But the ego, what it is that we're thinking like, oh, I got to do all the things to create value.
Mm-hmm.
When my presence, my being, is the value
mm-hmm.
more than anything.
Exactly. You nailed it. And as we're recording this on April 26th, I just did a Instagram live this morning with a channeler. And that was one of the things that came up, is ego is okay. There's these ideas being perpetuated out there that it's a bad thing if you have confidence, or that you have a bit of an ego. Why is that a bad thing? Why is it a bad thing to have confidence in yourself? I think there's a difference between humbling.
There's a line.
There's a line, yeah.
You can have a healthy sense of confidence. And I feel like I do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have a healthy sense of confidence.
I'll attest to that one for you. I know you have a very healthy sense of confidence.
I have a healthy sense of confidence, but it's because I know when it goes into another space, I have that ego check. Like, yo, chill out. Like, go do some meditation, like do some inner work and stuff, because I never want it to get to that like egomaniac space. Okay. Mm-hmm. And again, it goes back to being conscious, being in your awareness, being present, that you can recognize this is an alignment. Like, this attitude is not in alignment with what I'm doing. And having a healthy sense of self, that's what's confidence to me. Having that healthy sense of self where you can look at yourself and be like, hey, you know what? I'm doing what I'm born to do. And I'm grateful for that. And people respond to that. And I'm lucky. I'm lucky that people feel my essence, that they feel the medicine that is coming from years and years and years of relentless work. And I was talking about this in a call earlier about the app, about how like on social media, practitioners and people like yourself and myself, like they're leaking a lot of energy, because instead of like being able to focus solely on their practice, they're having to like focus on content creation.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where there has to be something extracted out of Instagram, because the whole reason that, you're good at your craft, I'm good at my craft, is because there's a focus on the sacredness and the energy of keeping yourself grounded, keeping yourself clear, because we are clear conduits to hold the space. And if you're using that energy, focusing on social and being like, I got to make 10 reels this week, or I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to do that, you're taking away, you're leaking your energy. in that way. And it's this kind of like this hamster wheel that's been created and in Instagram or on Facebook, where it's like, I got to be performative, and that's our ego. And it goes like, we're not trusting. We're not trusting. We're like, no, I need to do these things because I need to pay my bills, or I need to do my work. I need to do my service. I think this is where people get stuck. Is they're like, okay, I'm doing too much social media and I'm not doing enough of my work, and finding that harmony is hard. You're burning on both ends. So it's like, how do you find the harmony where you're keeping the integrity and the sacredness of what you're creating, you individually, me individually, because that's why you did all the work.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't do it to go be inauthentic again.
Well, when you say inauthentic, what do you mean?
I mean, when people feel like they have to put a certain type of mask to the world on social,
Mm-hmm.
that they think that they have to create this alter ego to attract, followers and attention, and, people to hear them out and to see what they're about and to see what their medicine is and stuff like that. I think what I've seen, the change in social media, is that people are either being more authentic, or they're going like the complete opposite direction, where like they're like completely turning into something else. And that has to do with, again, your sense of self.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that my following was growing. There was a little ego kick where it's like, oh, Farah, you need to like create more content, and you got to make this, like, me and my aesthetic, like, oh, you got to like change this aesthetic, and you got to let's redo your website and stuff. And then I was like, no, like, I was like, no, I was like, hold up. I said, Farah, you made this page because you just wanted to share your thoughts about healing and art and stuff. I was like, you didn't create this page to create content. You just were posting who you are. It just so happens that there's another 74,000 people there. I'm not going to change that, because what does it do?
You're no longer authentic then.
I'm no longer authentic. I'm no longer myself.
For me, it's, look, am I being 100% authentic? No, I'm not. Because I don't need to put everything out there to the world. It's not necessary. The world doesn't need to know what I had for breakfast today. I had an apple and sunflower seed butter.
What did you have for breakfast, though?
Yeah, apple and sunflower seed butter. But they don't need to know that. They don't need to know that I have that almost every day. But they do now. But so, I mean, that's something I hear from a lot of people when it comes to them saying, I don't know how to go out there and be authentic because I can't say this. I'm like, you don't need to say that. No one needs to know that stuff, because does it hurt them if they don't know that? No. How does that help them if they know that? Well, it doesn't. Exactly. Then why do it? In being located in Los Angeles, I've had the opportunity to work with some actors. And this was before I was on Instagram and while I was on Instagram. And the greatest lesson that I walked away with from working with them is the value of just being yourself. Because what was almost universal with them is how alone they felt, because only a couple people really knew them. But then when they go to the grocery store, they've got to turn it on, because the world has this idea of what they're supposed to be or what they think they are. And what that did for me was just reinforce this idea. Just go out there and be yourself. That's all you need to do.
Well, this is what it is. It's radical self-ownership.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even with regards to the curation of my Instagram page, the time when I really got exhausted with it was when I was thinking, okay, it has to be video, post, video. That way it lines up perfectly. And then like, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely...
Excuse me. Like, do you know how triggering that is for me?
No, this is done. I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't care if it looks scattered. I don't care if there's no flow to it. Whatever. That's the kind of person I am. I mean, I've got shit on my floor. Not actual shit. I mean, I have some papers right next to me right now from the last 4 sessions that I've done, because I haven't thrown them away yet. So I'm not a dirty person, but my closet isn't the prettiest thing in the
Hey,
world.
we're gonna have to throw Jung in there and be like, in chaos, there's order.
I agree with that. I don't know where shit is when everything is in order. Aesthetically speaking, in my place, it's like, wait, where are my pens? It's much easier for me to find them just they're scattered on the desk. But with regards to even the content creation, I go out there and I do stupid videos of me just lip syncing.
Oh, I love it.
Well, thank you.
I'm like that guy's himself. Yes.
Exactly. Like, that's why I do it. It has nothing to do with past lives. Although I found the way to do it past life related, which was just call it the Tuesday time capsule, because it's like, it's taking you back. But that's who I am. I'm the guy who has no problem going out there and be like, yeah, I'm a straight white. I don't know why I have to say straight white male or white. I have to put white in there. I'm a straight male in his mid-30s who's going out there and lip syncing videos when I don't need to. But you know what? Like, it's fine, because if that turns people off, which I know it does, because do you have a business account for Instagram? I have a business account there, and I can see my demographics when people unfollow my account, when they follow it.
Oh, really?
The days when I lose the most people is when I put out those videos. But whatever.
Well, is it because before you post it, you have that in your subconscious that you're going to lose followers when you post it?
No, because I don't really care.
No, but I'm saying you see it.
I mean, I can't completely rule it out, but at the same time, I'm not going out there saying, well, this is going to lose me.
When I post Afghanistan posts.
Same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, it's so liberating when you don't care, because the only thing I care about is this going to trigger someone? And the answer is everything I do is going to trigger someone in one way or another, because, well, because you drop a toothpick, someone gets triggered by that.
That's my whole life's work, is triggering.
Right. So it's the feeling of, as long as there's not something overt, something where I'm intending to do someone harm. Because seriously, if I go out there and, if I'm lip syncing Tom Jones, well, someone's going to remember that their husband or boyfriend used to sing that song to them and then broke their heart. So look, I have no control over that. I'm not going to.
Someone's heart got broken by Tom Jones.
Or when that was their song on their first date or something like that. Something where they'll be triggered. I'm like, I can't worry about that, because I was getting messages about people being triggered by stuff that was so innocuous like that. I'm like, I can't please everyone.
You know what it is? It's intention.
Exactly.
It's when you post, it's intention, but it's also, I like Jordan Peterson. He said, I don't have followers, I have an audience.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that, because essentially that's what it is you have an audience and you have a platform, and you're speaking consciously, or you're speaking with intention. That's your space. That's your space. It's not the space of the audience. It's your space, and the audience can come and go as they please.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the people that are focused on the number, and that's ego, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're focused on the number because they're like, okay, what do I need to put out to gain traction, to gain followers, and everything like that?
Mm-hmm. Which I get. I mean, that's not why I do it. And although when I'm doing the memes now, if I have something big coming up, like an event, I'll hold some of the good memes, because I just kind of feel that they'll gain some traction for the account. And then it's a way to say, hey, now that you're on the page and you like this, do you want to come to this workshop that we're doing? I'm intentional in that respect, but I don't know if you've noticed, I haven't called them followers. Like, I refer to them as people who follow the account or follow my account, or people who listen to the show, because it feels so weird for me to say my followers. It just doesn't sit well with me. It feels better to say the people who follow my account, because that's what they're doing. They're following my account.
Following your
I mean,
audience.
yeah. I mean, I am my account. I am my
I like
brand.
the word connections.
Yeah, like my past life buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, just to kind of swing it back around to the embodiment aspect of everything. That's what it's all about. It's just the
Well,
embodiment.
if you're a person that has done the deep inner work and you radically accept yourself, then you're not worried about your posts because you have that relationship with yourself that you're like, hey, I know myself and I have, and my intention for this space is to be my fullest self. And I'm the only person that knows what that looks like, not the audience.
Mm-hmm.
The audience doesn't mold me. That's all here in me. And there was one thing that I worked for Giorgio Armani years ago. And there was a documentary. There was not documentary, it was an interview with him. I really have a lot of respect for him. He's quite an amazing person. And he said one thing in it that I will never forget. And this guy asked him, he says, how did you create all of this? Because he has all the brands of the clothing, he has flowers, he has chocolates, he has the restaurants, he has the hotels, he has everything. And he said, I didn't create this for the world. He said, I allowed the world into my world. And I will never forget that because that's what it's about. These pages that we have, these spaces, people are coming into our world. And obviously, the more you're yourself, people can't resist the energy of someone living in a full alignment with who they are. It's like almost like physics. It's an energetic law that no matter what you think, what others think of them or anything, if they're living in alignment with who they are, the universe is always going to respond. Like when you look like a Trump or a Kardashian or an Elon Musk, all these people, they are where they are because they're living in alignment with who they are. They know themselves that well, that they're like, hey, this is who I am and I'm going to be that. And that's why these things manifest for them. And then people are attracted to that because there's something inside of those people that they're like, hey, I wish I could live in alignment with myself like that. That's where the admiration comes, that they see an aspect of themselves in that person that's living fully in their potential or living fully in alignment. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure you just triggered many people with what was said there.
I'm a quadruple Scorpio. It's just what I do.
Living in alignment may not always be the best thing, even though it's what we should strive towards. It's
the judgment, right? It's the judgment. It's like looking at people and being like, hey, the Dalai Lama is living in alignment with himself. Kim Kardashian's living in alignment with herself. Do people agree with what Kim Kardashian is doing? No. And yes, she's got a gazillion followers, right? So there's people that support it in some aspect. So it really depends on like, what are your values, right? Mm-hmm. And when I look at people like Elon and Kim Kardashian, I look at people that I go, okay, why do these people trigger me? Or anytime I get triggered by someone, I go, why? And then I look deep inside. I'm like, oh, there's this aspect of them that is very similar to me. There's a trait in this person that's very similar to me. And it goes back to what I said earlier. We are all mirrors to each other, whether we like it or not. And that is the shadow work of going from separation consciousness to unity consciousness, where we can get into a space where we're like, it gets so crazy where you can see yourself in everyone. And then that's when it's been alchemized. And that's when unity consciousness can come in and we see the interconnectedness and we see the humanity, which again is going to take generations of alchemy, which the shift is now. The ship is steering in the other direction.
But what do you mean? I heard that the event was supposed to happen last Tuesday, but I didn't wake up in the new world.
I'm going to have to buy you a SpaceX ticket or something.
You mean a trip off the planet?
So you can go to New Earth.
But I thought it doesn't reside in this dimension. I didn't realize that a 3D rocket could get me there.
I think the people that are walking the walk are the people that are here in this world that are embodying that higher love, that they are embodying to the best of their abilities in this world of constant suffering and projection, that's where our compassion has to come in, because we go from this like conscious love 5D ascension vibes. But then when we're in embodiment, when we're in incarnation, you're looking at the world as this kind of like it's destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So that vibration, we got to hold it. We got to hold it so that we can start creating things consciously and start transforming and alchemizing all of this destructive energy. I will tell you one thing, like as soon as Pisces season started, that's when the war started. And there was all the planets in Pisces again. With that energy, that intensity that was going on, I created so many things. I created and launched so many things with that energy, because I understand as soon as there's dark energy or there's intense energy or there's destructive energy, I'm like, okay, generator. I'm like, I got to do something with this, because I'm not going to internalize it. I'm not going to hold it, because we have the ability to hold all of this destructive energy. And the whole point of us teaching people these like Reiki and meditation and yoga and all this wellness stuff is because we're not supposed to hold the dark energy. We're not supposed to hold the destructive energy. We are supposed to transmute it. All of us. That is it. Meeting the moment and alchemizing it in the moment so that it shifts the vibration.
Well, I think that's the right place to end it. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. I love our talks.
I appreciate you so much.
Likewise. Likewise.
How can everyone work with you?
You can find me on my my platform where I have an audience on Instagram, and I have my link with all my, the link with all the links, as they say. So Instagram is probably the best way, and then my website is there and stuff. So.
And what services do you offer?
I'm doing a lot of one-on-one programs, and I'm launching like a group program that is for women. It's mostly women that are wanting to step out of like corporate jobs and be doing things from heart-centered space and doing things that are more aligned with their spirit when it comes to work and creation. So I have a group program that I'm going to be launching for that. Yeah, that's what I do. It's the transformation. It's vibrational alignment. It's getting people into the space where they can basically do their soul's work and remove all the limiting beliefs and be at their fullest potential. I love holding space for that. It's my favorite thing to do, is just watch people blossom and do what they were born to do.
I have an idea.
Sure.
Why don't you put more on your plate?
Oh, more on my plate. That's
next up. Embodiment for Little League mothers.
There you go. Hey, they're doing their job. The Little League moms.
See, I say it in jest, but at the same time, I wouldn't put it past you just to create a new program for a whole other demographic and bringing them in the fold. So I wouldn't put it past you.
It's my problem is that like I'm not enough person to meet all the creations I have in line. Like there's literally a line of things that I'm creating, and it's like, okay, this needs attention now, that needs attention now, that will be after this, that will be after that. I think I have the rest of my lifetime to work on everything I want to create. So I'm sure
you'll come up with new ideas.
You're a generator, so I'm sure you want to create too. So
now you're speaking my language.
But this is what we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we do with all of this madness.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Well, we got no choice.
That's true.
I love when people say that. They're like, I'm here for it. And I'm like, you got no choice. You signed up for this shit.
Well, I mean, that implies that there was a choice in the matter if you signed up for it.
Oh, well.
But I know what you mean. That's a whole other conversation we could
That's a
venture into.
whole other
I'll have you back for that one because that's a
Yeah,
whole
we'll have-
episode in and of
Yeah,
itself.
that's a whole other soul contracts and all that fun stuff. Like,
Well, just thank you so much for being here and thank you for being such a great friend.
thank you. Likewise, likewise.
Fellow time travelers, your journey through time awaits you. Just want to thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. And if you're interested in discovering who, when, and where you have been throughout time, and you'd like to book a session with me, just go ahead and send me a message on Instagram at The Past Life Regressionist, or you can reach me through my website, yourpastliferegressionist.com.